Hello, I'm DrChe, and today we are going to talk with a student called Dr. Thawa. So he is one of my, best students, and I have loved to help him. And this is not just a little bit, two-way feedback because he was very interesting. I really, Dr. Thawa, there was one other student, Dr. Muhammad from one Arabic country. I don't remember from where. He went to Turkey to take the exam, but this student was really interested and he wanted to pass. I helped him. Even sometimes I gave him some discounts also, but he was very interesting and he was very good. And the same way you are really interested to pass the exam, and the way you talk to me, all of these things I loved. And other thing we should promise, Dr. Taba, you and me, we should promise we will not tell any lie on our feedback. We should be honest. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Is that
Sure, Doctor.
yes, we cannot misguide other people. If there is something not good, we should tell that this is not good. Another thing you will tell about your experience of OET, how you were able to prepare for writing, speaking, and other modules. And as you talk OET at home, so many students keep asking me OET at home, how is the and what is the experience and these things. So you will give some tips about OET at home also. So another thing is that we can see here on my screen. This is your feedback that you have posted on my Facebook group. Dr. Sabha, is it correct that I always ask my students to give honest feedback? I asked some exaggeration that you should praise me and you should tell I am the best and these things.
Well, you've never asked me. You can show the chat.
Yeah, but
that you, yeah,
I
you
always
can,
ask my student, but I always ask the honest feedback.
yeah, and the way that you ask it, you just say an honest feedback, and
Yes,
that's the reason that in the post I wrote an honest feedback about Dr. Chi.
yes, thank you.
So yeah.
So yeah, can you just tell a little bit background how you started and how you are able to, when we start preparation, we always see the options. So this is option, this is option, this tutor is option, this tutor is option, this is option, and then I should go for this. For example, when I prepared my own self, I shortlisted 10 to 20 OET preparation tutors. Then I shortlisted their quality, their what we can say comments and their prices and their all of these things. Could you please start like this?
Yeah. So when I started deciding about leaving the country, unfortunately, I had to do an English test. So I'm from Iraq, Kurdistan. So my first language is Kurdish, my second language is Arabic, and my third language is English. Well, I studied in some English schools and then I left. So my English was, I can say, it's medium. It's not very good. It's not very bad. So when I started to decide, the decision was in between IELTS or go for OET. And then asking a lot of friends, reading a lot of feedbacks and looking at videos on YouTube and everywhere, then I decided that I should go for OET. And then when I started doing like when I started preparing for my OET, it was not easy because I didn't have a very close friend, so that he did all the steps before me. I had some friends, they have done IELTS, and I had some friends which they have done OET, but before many years. So things have changed in OET, and then by now it's new. Like there are some things that's been changed, so you need to go with the new criteria, and that you mentioned in your videos, because some of the things that's been changed, it's not mentioned in other places. So then I decided I will go with the OET, and then I have to find the resources and the sources to study on. And then I asked some friends over the other countries, and then after that I came up with the idea that I should buy an account in the websites that I don't want to mention the names because they were helpful at that time.
Yes, of course,
So
we should.
yes. So I started with these websites, which they I started at the like very bottom, and then I find out in the writing I still experience a lot of problems, and it's not affordable to go with them. And then when it's a website, as if that you are talking to a robot, because you cannot get whatever you want. You cannot ask whatever questions you have, because it's just about having like a website. You send your letter and then you get your feedback back. So you cannot give comments why this is wrong, why this is right, why I got this number. They will write simple, like they will correct for you the mistakes, and then they will write simple tips for you. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to you. So to improve, you need to understand what's your mistakes. So I don't know, like spontaneously I was searching in Facebook, and then I found out there's DrChe, and I searched, and then I think I asked you, I texted you in the first
Yes.
place, and I said,
Yes.
Doctor, can you help me, because I'm having my OET in that time. And then you asked me, did you book your exam? And I said, not yet. Okay, so you said, so how long time do you have to prepare for the exam? Then I decided, and then things came up. So
Yes.
my first letter, when you corrected for me, you said like, you need to work on yourself, because like I'm not proud of my first letter, because
Yes.
it was so,
Yes, I
it was
remember.
just
Even
like
the
a thing
last
I
one,
had.
even the last one was also very
Yes,
long. Second
yeah,
last.
yeah. Yeah, the thing is, my first letter, I had a lot of grammar errors, which
Mhm.
is like we call it fatal. It should not be there.
Yes.
And then I had a lot of, well, I didn't have the background, what to write in which place. So this
Yes,
is what
of
you
course.
taught me, and it was very important, because I was always like having a lot of problems, where to write this, how to write this thing in this place, and how to
Mhm.
do it in that place. So I was always asking people, because I didn't have anyone to ask. And then when I asked you, I could get all the answers back, because you told me, for example, in the purpose, no one told me that you have to write the main chief complaint. There are
Yes.
some things that I was writing before, which was not the main thing that I'm referring the case because
Yes.
of. So you told me that you have to write the most important. And then sometimes I said, DrChe, those two things, they are both important. No, you say, choose the most important thing. And
Yes.
then after that, why you refer it? Because I was writing for your, for example, for your management. And then no, you said you need to be more specific, because it's written in this letter, in this samples, that you send it because of this. And then I didn't know how to write things. For example, I was writing for please for this and please for that. No, you told me for possible that, for possible this,
Yes.
for whenever there's a question mark. So you taught me about the details, even though when I started, there were no these online meetings, but you were helping me throughout the chat, and then we had some Zoom meetings.
Yes.
So I really got a lot of benefit. And then you gave me the base how to write the paragraphs after that, for example, after the purpose, and how to go to the paragraphs.
Yes.
And I've always faced that problem, that my letters were going really long,
Mhm.
because I'm a doctor. So
Yes.
whenever I want to refer a patient to another doctor, I need to
Yes.
deliver all the message. And then that was my
So,
biggest problem.
so
And
just
yeah,
just Dr. Dawa, to verify, to rectify your message that your letters were long. This is your second last letter, I think, last or second last, and we people can see he was writing 342 words. That is too long, even double. Okay. So
yeah.
another thing, Dr. Dawa, I would like to, as you have mentioned at at the end of your post, that as we can see from your interview that your speaking is good. So after doing some role plays with you, I think we have done 4 or 6 role plays. If you remember, could you remember how many role plays we have done?
Well, I think we did 5 or 6, and
Five or
I was,
six.
but yeah,
Yes,
yeah, like you retried my speaking. Like when I
yes,
started, I finished in 1 minute. You said, "What's this?"
yes. But
And
overall,
then you said,
yes,
"No."
you needed to work on your clinical communication criteria because your English was good, linguistic criteria was good. After doing
Yeah,
4 or 6 role plays, if you remember that I told you that you should focus on your writing because your speaking is good. You will get B in your speaking. So you have mentioned here that I might tell you that no, you still need improvement, and this is a way of making money. But I never misguide my students because all of you are my colleagues. I am not any traditional OET tutor. So for speaking, as you can imagine from your interview, that
Yes,
your
doctor.
English is good. Just we needed to improve your clinical communication criteria that we have improved in just 4 or 5, you know, uh,
And
corrections.
actually, that was so nice, doctor, because in some places when I practiced, and they keep telling me you need a personal tutor, you need a personal tutor, and then until when, and
Yeah,
how you can fix this, and then that was so nice actually, and that
yeah,
made me like that pushed me to trust you even more and more
of
because
course.
you said no,
So
stop
here
it.
is the
Your
folder of
speaking is
Dr.
good and you
Tava.
can do it.
Yeah,
What, doctor?
yes.
Yeah,
So
you
here
told
we
me,
can see,
yeah, stop it for now, and then you can go to the writing and
yes,
focus more in writing, and then you can do.
so
Yeah.
yeah, Dr. Taba, here you can see this is folder. Then when I used to do, written feedback. No, nowadays I give online feedback. So there are more than 200 students. Here you can see in this folder. And sorry, yours is this one. So we can see here that I have corrected 8 letters that were, written feedback, and then 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 on Zoom. Okay. So here, this is your first letter. So this was your 243 words, and borderline B or C plus was your first letter. And here is your second letter. If we can see a lot of, these colors you can see here. So, so a lot of red and, uh, this yellow and, comments you can see here, all of these things that we have corrected. And then I gave you models. The main thing is that was about the difference between my, style and other is I give student how to write. I give them model and then they rewrite or they work on that. Okay. So this is, you can see this was your second letter, 249 words, and overall grade was C. So then you have improved. This was your second last. You can see here 250 words. So we have always had a problem with this one was last or second last 342 words. So overall, we needed to work hard on conciseness and grammar and all of these things. So these were two. And how you have prepared for reading and listening without taking name of anybody else? Just can you give some tips about?
Well, doctor, I used some other websites actually
Uh-huh.
for the listening and for the reading, because at that time I think by now you guide some people for reading. I think
Yes,
because I
reading.
see
Yes, I have
you
just
post on
started.
Facebook.
I have just
Yeah,
started,
you just started, so I was not lucky to get your guide at that time. But I used some other websites, and I really struggled with my listening because
Yeah.
I'm not used to listen to English people. I live in a
Uh-huh.
country which like a very few amount of people speak English,
Yeah,
so it was not easy for me when I started. But hopefully, with practice, this exam is doable, so you can do it probably.
of course. So
Yeah.
nowadays I have reading course, but this I have my own exam in upcoming days. Maybe I will be taking limited for limited time. Other thing is that many people ask me about OET at home.
Yes.
Okay, so I I I I don't have any idea about that. So I just
Yeah.
was watching some video there when you take OET at home, your room should be, there should be nothing in your room except a table and a chair, and you need to, give a 3D, 360-degree review of your room to the, examiner, so that in your room nothing is that can be, you can cheat. And a little bit, could you please, because many students ask me about OET at home. And
Yes, doctor. So when I decided to do the OET, the option for OET at home was not present. So I was like, in my country, we don't have any center for doing the OET. I decided to travel, and then it was much more costly because the exam by itself is like, it's a cost, and then you have to travel. The traveling cost will sum up. So when I was like trying to book my ticket, fortunately, the seats released. So I was able to get my OET at home seat. And the thing is, I'm very proud of OET actually by now, because they are really advanced and they are really working hard to make it easier for people.
Yes, of
Because
course.
in a lot of countries there are these problems which centers are not present, so you need to travel and it's not easy. So they opened this, and it's quite easy. It's not very complex. So the exam is really lovely. So you will book your exam in their website. You will choose OET at home. I think their idea of sharing these seats is for the countries who have not centers, if I'm not wrong.
No,
So
Dr.
I
Taba,
could book.
just yeah, this is the best option
Yeah.
for those people who where still they don't have OET in their country, paper based or
Yes.
these things. But even in countries where OET is conducting paper based exam, still these people are choosing OET at home or OET computer based. The reason is because here you will you get the seats very frequently, and it is easy to book, and they still
Yes.
have more slots available.
Yes. So the thing is, it was very easy because I was frustrated in the beginning. Shall I go and do it with the paper? I feel much more comfortable. Shall I do it with like how other people did it, or I should try this new path? So I decided I will risk it, and then it's worth it because I found out it was not hard. And then the thing is, you need to have a good computer, good laptop. So
Because internet
and you need.
connection of good speed.
Yes, you need to have a good connection. You need to have a room, but these things, they are much more easier than traveling and booking.
Of course.
So yeah, so I decided I stayed in my room. I did it at home. There are some people, they go to, for example, they go to a hotel. They don't want to like their family come to the room, but then I decided I will do it in my room, and then you have to lock the door. So there is a program that they will share it with you. You will enter that program. It's called ProProctor. So this is the security program of the OET. So there will be a tutor that speaks with
Mhm.
you, just like how I'm speaking to you. He tells you you are
Yes.
ready to do the exam, and this is your exam, this is your paper. So you have to share your identification, and then how you book the test with the passport or anything else. Then you do these security checks, and after that, you need to stay in a room. It should not be an open place. For example, you cannot go to a cafeteria for a cafe and then you do the exam over there. No, you need to be in a room, which is like which has
Mhm.
wall at your surrounding, and then the room should be like, it should be tidy. There should not be a lot of things around you, and in the even
Mhm.
in the background or in front of you, you should not have sticky notes and those things that people might cheat with. Even though the
Mhm.
exam is very quick, you don't have a lot of time. And what I
Mhm.
believe is someone who wants to go to these countries, they should be
Mhm.
quite disciplined, and they should not
Of course.
be thinking about cheating and those stuff, because it's not working. If you do cheating in your English test, and then how you do the medical, and then how you do your how you do your like the further exams, and then how you practice there. So you need to be disciplined. You don't need to think about cheating, but this is their security, and it is good. And then the interlocutor, whatever I call it, tells you you need to show me your room
Mhm.
360. So you just
Mhm.
start like doing this, and then you stand
Yeah.
up and you show them
Yeah.
the walls and whatever you have in the room, and
Mhm.
then you want to show and they asks you to show the table which is in front
Mhm.
of you,
Mhm.
because you don't need to have a lot of things with you.
Mhm.
And then you can have a water with you, without any like bands or any papers on it, so that you drink your water. The exam is of
Mhm.
3 hours, and there will be someone at the background always helping you to, like, for example, if the system is not working at some moment, or you are having some problems, some urgent things, so you can directly talk to him. I have this
Mhm.
problem, so that you don't lose your time.
Mhm.
So the after these security checks, the interlocutor, it will ask you to show your, like, for example, your ear, if you're not having any things in your ear, and
Yes.
then you need to show the glasses, and you need to show your hands, and then your pockets, you're not having anything in your pockets, and like easily, it's
Yes.
very
Right.
easy, and then your
Uh-huh.
exam will start.
Uh-huh.
And this person will stay at the background to help you
Uh-huh.
if you are having any problem
Uh-huh.
conducting the exam. And then the exam will start. You will do the reading, you will do listening, reading, and then the last thing is writing. Speaking
Sir
is on
Taba, I
another day.
have one question about
Yes.
many students ask me, for example, in reading, if you can see my screen, for example, I have here my group and these things, and here I have your, post. So I have two screens. You can see two screens. So in, for example, reading and listening, we have two screens or only one screen where we have questions and text, or it is one screen only?
So you mean about, for example, it gives you the paragraph and it gives you the questions. That's what you ask for, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there are some people that are facing this problem when their laptop resolution is not very good. So I faced this problem, but
Uh-huh.
my friend didn't face this problem. So when
Uh-huh.
the resolution is okay, you directly get like the pop-up taskbar, and then you can divide your screen by two. You understand that, right? Is
Yes.
it clear?
Yes.
But my resolution, I think it was not that good. So I had to make the paragraph smaller at the top corner, and then I
Uh,
was reading the question, and every time I'm checking up. But then
yes.
before the exam starts, you have before the exam, even one day before, you can open the website and you can check your laptop if the resolution is okay, if the mic is working. It checks your laptop and it makes
Uh-huh.
it ready for the day of the exam.
Uh-huh.
And then even at the exam time, before the exam starts, you have 10 minutes to practice.
Uh-huh.
So for example, it shows you a sample of the reading, and it
Uh-huh.
tells you start manipulating. So how you can make the like letters bigger, how you can manipulate the taskbar, and then how you
Uh-huh.
can divide your screen. So
Uh-huh.
the tutor also helps you to do that. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so don't be afraid of this. I faced this problem actually because it didn't become two screens, but I think it was my fault because my resolution of the screen, it was not very good. So my friend didn't face that. So the screen just divided by two,
Yes.
and then you have
So
the
for example,
paragraph
Dr.
here,
Taba,
and then
if you can see my
what that.
screen, you can see here, this is your letter. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
this is one screen. Option number one is you have questions here and a task here. You just see and
yes,
you give the answer. This is the option number one.
yes,
Other thing
yes,
is you just make it smaller like this. This is one screen. And for example, other I can make like this. Okay. So these are
yes.
now two screens. I can keep it one at the left, one at the right. Okay, like
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
and like
Yes,
this,
yes, yes.
or up or down. So how was
Yes.
in OET at home?
I did it like this. What I remember, actually, I don't remember exactly how I did the writing,
Yeah.
but I think it was from the top part, the letter which was written, and then I had the space in the down part. So
Uh-huh.
I kept writing it. So I was
Uh-huh.
like, with the scroll up, scroll down, I can see all the
Yeah.
details which is given in the
Yeah.
case note, and then I will write it in my
Yeah. For
space.
example, you have case notes here, case notes here in this window. Let me like in this. Okay. Then you have another window or just below that where you will be writing your answer like this. Like this. Here I will be writing answer. Here I can see the task. Maybe like this.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, and this thing actually, it's very easy. So
It's
you just
easy.
need to, like,
Okay.
yeah, it's easy, it's doable, and then you have the time in the beginning of the exam. You can talk to the interlocutor how to
Yeah.
divide the screen, and then how to do it easily.
You can talk at the
So
start to ask things how to do this. Okay.
Yes, yeah, and even when you face the problem, for example, in the middle of the exam, you see like it's not getting bigger. You
Yeah.
directly talk. You say, "Dear interlocutor, I'm facing a problem which the screen is not dividing by two," and then it tells you, for example, click on this thing, make it smaller, make it bigger, and then the problem
Uh,
gets sorted out.
that is
I
good.
didn't face any problem with
That is
this
good.
actually.
Another thing that personally, I find reading and listening easy on paper-based exam. And how was your experience with computer-based? Do you think if somebody has, good, uh, preparation, he can easily take OET at home with these two things, reading and listening?
Well,
I find myself difficult on computer, but easy on paper-based. But how is your experience? Because I need to guide many students. That is why your video will be really helpful because we need help. Okay.
yes, doctor. Actually, to decide about this thing, I should have practiced the paper-based so that I give a very good feedback about this because
Yeah.
I didn't practice. Even when I was practicing myself, I was practicing on my laptop. So I've
Uh-huh.
never practiced on paper
Uh-huh.
because I was using these websites. So it was
Uh,
quite similar for me to go for the exam because I've always practiced on the laptop. So for someone, if they are practicing on paper, it might be like in the beginning annoying. So if what for example, if you decided to do OET at home, it's better to prepare even during the preparation time to
yes.
practice on laptop. It's
Uh-huh.
better and then doctor, I think it's not of a very big difference because it's the same information that you hear, for example, when you are doing it on paper based and it's the same information that you hear and then you have to write or either you tick or you
Uh-huh.
choose with the click. So
Uh-huh.
for me, I didn't face much problem.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking that I don't think that I'm doing well in the listening, and then I did really well in the listening. But I was thinking like reading will be easy, and I'm good at reading, and then I found out that reading it was not that easy for me.
Uh-huh.
It's a personal
It is not
experience.
easy
It
for
may.
it is not easy for all. Okay, to be honest, even when I did my exam, when I came out of exam, I was sure about my writing because I was good. Then I was, I will fail in reading, but I passed. So here is your score: 390 in listening. That is very good. 370 in reading. That is also good. And speaking 380. That is good. And writing unbelievable. 380. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like I was thinking definitely I will get a even better mark in the
yeah,
writing because
yeah,
it was the same like tips and the same notes that you gave me.
yes.
Like I don't know, I might be at that time I was a little bit stressed. I forgot to write something,
Yes.
or but it was like I was thinking like I will pass writing.
Okay.
Definitely I will
Another
pass
thing,
it.
Dr. Chaba, in OET at home, when we're doing a computer, you can easily edit your letter on computer. That is good thing. When you're taking paper based, it is very difficult. You erase and then you can adjust the text on that
Probably,
place. So in OET
probably.
at home, you can, or OET at computer, you can do that. And what about speaking? Because I had my student from USA, and she took her OET on computer or at home, I don't remember well. And they sent her an email, the link for Zoom meeting. And when they started the meeting, she was not able to open that link, and she missed her first speaking interview. Then she texted
Huh.
me. Then she texted me, and uh, and I told her what to do. I will also share that. So she was not able to open the link. Okay. And then she was talking with me, no, I have lost my exam and I will fail and I was not able to. I told her, no, if you are not able to, they will contact you again. So they sent her link, and the link was like this, that you cannot click on that link. Okay. So when
Well,
she,
doctor,
yeah,
for me, I didn't have this problem. Actually, when you book the exam, you will
yeah,
choose two different dates, for
yes.
example. And then I chose my speaking before the exam 2 days.
Uh-huh,
So they will send you two different emails. One of the emails
uh-huh,
is for the speaking,
uh-huh,
one for the call.
uh-huh,
And then one day before each exam, they will remind you and they will send you the link that you will enter. For example, the
uh-huh,
link for the preparator and the link for the Zoom meeting. The
uh-huh,
speaking will be via a Zoom meeting.
uh-huh,
And for me, you know, doctor, whenever you have an exam, you have to be very precise. You have to know
Oh yeah.
like your Zoom is working.
Yes.
It's with the same, it's with the same Gmail that you registered with,
Uh-huh.
and you have your name in the title, the same name
Uh-huh.
that you have in your passport, and then
Uh-huh.
you have to try it. You have to be familiar with the Zoom meeting. It's not good to be your first time trying for an exam and then you've never used Zoom, because you may face some
Uh-huh.
problems
Of
at the moment.
course.
So I opened my Zoom meeting,
Uh-huh.
like I opened the link before half an hour, and then
Uh-huh.
it said wait until the for example, the receiver
Host. Yes.
will let the host will let you in.
Yes.
So, and then I closed that, so I knew that the link is working, so I will be just waiting for the person to accept me. And then when I opened it at the like sharp time which was written in the exam, he accepted me, and then he did some security check again to show
Uh-huh.
identification, to show my room, and
Uh-huh.
then it was very easy, and the interlocutor was so lovely, and
Uh-huh.
you have the exact amount of time which is mentioned in the website of
Uh-huh.
OET, and then you will practice, and it's very easy. You can
Uh-huh.
see it shows
One
you
tip,
the paper.
yes, one tip
Yes.
that I want to share, for example, if to that student, I told that, for example, this is the link, this is your post, this is link till here, okay? Select that link. If it is not, you cannot click on that. Select that link, all the text, copy it, and then you open the browser as I am opening
Mm-hmm.
here. Open blank browser, just paste at the top, okay? Then you click on that, paste here, okay, enter, and then you will go to, they will launch meeting, and their meeting will be launched to the Zoom, okay? So you people, if any of student face this problem, they can do that. Okay, and doctor, how was the, what we say, speaking was on Zoom?
Yes, the speaking was on Zoom, and then it shows you the case note, and it
Uh-huh.
gives you the
Role
amount of the
play.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, the role play,
Yeah.
like the role
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
case sheet, and
Yeah.
then whenever you get the photo, the timing will start. Whenever you
Uh-huh.
get the picture, you get the
Uh-huh.
case note, it says you can see it right now, you say yes, and then the timing will start. And
Uh-huh.
then after that, the interlocutor was so interactive. He
Uh-huh.
was doing great in his part, and then
Uh-huh.
I was doing well as well. I thought like in the speaking also I can pass it. So
Uh-huh.
my problem was only the reading part, and
Uh-huh.
like thanks God I passed that also.
So they will show you the task. They will give you preparation time.
Yes, they will give you preparation time. I think it's of 3 minutes, right?
Uh-huh.
As it's written in the
Almost
OET
two to
website.
three, 2 to 3 almost. You, what do I say?
Yeah, I think it was
Uh,
three. I think it was
okay.
three. And
Uh-huh.
then you are allowed to take one A4 paper to the room and one pen with
Uh-huh.
you.
Where you
And
can
then you have to,
make
yeah, to
notes
take
first.
notes. Yes, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. And then you have to show like the A4 paper in front of the camera that
that is
you
blank.
haven't written anything. Yeah. And then you will write your notes. And then when you finish the exam, you have to rip the paper in front of the camera, so you don't
Uh,
like take the case out, and then you don't like
uh,
tell other
uh,
people what was the case.
and the thing is, the interlocutor that is talking with you, he will only do the role play as in the paper-based exam. They will only record your meeting. They will do the role play, and then this speaking is marked by other examiners. So they only
I think
record things.
yes,
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 this is like
yes.
this.
It's
Yeah.
written in the website that the
Yes.
interlocutor is not the one who assess your
Yeah.
English.
Yes.
So he records it, and then it will be assessed by
Yeah.
two assessors, and
Uh-huh.
then they will give you the mix mark of both
Uh-huh.
assessors. Even yani,
Uh-huh.
it's not assessed by one, so it's very accurate. It's very precise. I love their work.
Uh-huh.
I love what
So
OET do.
that's about. So you have told me that they send different link for speaking. They send link to Zoom meeting, and for written exam means for reading, listening, and writing, they send another link. They will open it. It will open in the website or a browser, and then you will do that there. Is like this.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes, doctor. It's
And it,
for the other one. It's another link. So you open it in the browser. So the program will come to your laptop and it blocks everything in your laptop. So you cannot, for example, minimize the screen. Once the system will start, it blocks, even you cannot get any notification. For example, if you get a message from Facebook and those stuff. No, like whenever it's on your screen, you cannot step back. It's on your screen, and then the time will start, and then
until you finish your exam, you cannot see anything else on your screen, only an exam.
Yes. Yes,
That is
and
good
in the
information.
exam you have, I think you have 10-minute rest, what I remember. You can take it in the beginning, it will guide you. The interlocutor will talk to you, it will guide you throughout all the steps. So you can take this rest after reading part A.
Some
Yes,
rest.
after reading part A.
Okay.
You can take 10-minute rest. So, and then after this 10 minutes, you will get back to the exam.
That is good. And other thing, Dr. Taba, how to book OET at home?
Well, doctor, they have their website. So when you open it, there is a place that it's for the
Dashboard.
booking.
Yes, booking.
Yeah. Yes, so you will book your exam, and then it will ask you in which country you are doing it. So you need accommodation for that. I said I don't need accommodation for that. And then it will ask you your preferred date when you want to do your exam. And actually, whenever you have any question about the OET at home, they have something in their website that you can send them emails, and they will answer you, I think, in 48 hours. So whenever you have any questions, any queries, so you can ask them, and they will reply within time.
So where we apply paper-based, it would be at their place. Use whether you are going to select paper-based or computer-based or OET at home. It should be option there, I think. So anything else, Dr. Taba, you would guide. You can see that many of my students will see this video because OET at home. Even I was not familiar with this thing. This is new. Many of us will enjoy this video and we will learn a lot. Anything else you want to tell us about OET home? As you told that some of your friends also took the OET at home, so anything else you want to guide us?
Well, actually, I advise taking OET at home because it's very precise, as if you are in their center. And I advise going with that if the center is not in your country. And actually, to give a very good feedback is I should have done OET with paper, but I haven't done it. So my experience was so good with the OET at home, and I advise everyone to go with that. And actually, OET is a doable exam. You just don't need to get stressed. You need to prepare well. It's the exam that you can pass with the preparation. And for example, choose your pathway on what you study, and then keep an eye open on other options also.
So
and,
I will just interrupt you. One of the mistakes that many students make, many doctors, many nurses mistake is when they appear for OET for the first time, many of us didn't, take any tutor or they take, seek any help, any expert help. This is one of the major mistakes. We are overconfident. Can do this. I can do this. This student has done without preparation. My other friend has done without preparation. This is mistake. You should at least take a little bit feedback from any true expert. So whether you are good or not. When speaking, for example, I told you are good. You don't need to spend more money. This is no. You need to take feedback.
As you practice, you will do better.
Dr. Sorry, I got problem with my connection.
It's fine.
I think for 1 or 2 minutes, for 1 minute. So just let me. Okay, so just let me adjust some things here. So what we were talking is about many students don't get feedback. And then when they prepare for the first time, they just, let us try, maybe I can pass. We should, at least, I'm not asking to contact me because I'm a doctor, I earn well on my own duties. But this is a common mistake. So we should not overestimate ourselves. We should a little get this is not medical exam, people. Even for example, if Dr. Taba, your English was good, you can see people can imagine from his interview that your English is good, but still your first role play with me was C plus grade.
Yes.
And after only doing 3, 4, or 5 role plays, I told you, you don't need any more feedback on your speaking because you are doing very well. You need to focus on your writing because your writing was still weak. This is how a good tutor should, do, because we don't need to keep making money from one student. We have many more students. Okay, so this is one more thing. Anything else, Dr. Taba, you would tell about OET at home? About your experience? Anything that is different with OET paper based and OET at home?
Well, actually, I advise for the exam, and if it's not available in your country or you cannot find good dates, you want to do it at the right time, go for OET at home. It's not hard, it's doable, and the system is very well organized by OET, so you don't face any problem. That was my experience and my friend's experience, actually. And I think OET is the exam that you need to go for with preparation. And
Yes, of
as
course, because
Dr.
this is not medical exam. Many of us just
Yes,
take it
yes,
as it is medical. I know some native English speakers, they failed in speaking. Some of one got 300 in speaking. The reason was not his English was bad, because he was not fulfilling OET criteria there for speaking.
yes,
So we need a
yes,
little bit, at least a little bit, feedback from anybody who is true OET expert. So
yes,
you told me that OET reading and listening is not difficult on OET at home, but I myself
yeah,
find it difficult on computer. Maybe when we do a little bit practice, it would be okay.
yeah. For me,
So,
actually, it was okay because I practiced before on laptop, and then it was fine for me in my experience.
uh, and for writing, if your typing speed is normal, average, or good, or normal, average, so it is very good because you can edit, you can you can make things,
Yes,
editing is very good thing in in writing.
yes,
And speaking is,
yes,
I think is better on Zoom, because when somebody is in front of you, you are a little bit hesitant. As I do my own role plays on Zoom, so this is like that because we are doing the role play on Zoom. So you are relaxed because your examiner is not in front of you. So speaking and writing for me is better on OET at computer or OET at home. So OET at computer and OET at home is a little bit different, yes?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of this, but I think I don't know. For
The
me,
difference is,
I just yeah.
doctor, OET at home is, in both you are taking OET at computer, okay? Because when you
Mm-hmm,
are at home, you are taking on computer. When you
mm-hmm,
are at the OET at computer is computer-based OET is when you are taking on prometric centers, mean these are specific centers, or you are
uh-huh,
maybe and they arrange on their own center. You go there, you take OET at computer, but in their own center. Then you don't need these security checks, and examiner is top of you. If you have any question, you have any problem with computer, you can directly ask them. So this is the
mm-hmm,
difference. Overall, the approach would be the same. Reading would be on computer, and screens, and these your writing, these things would be on the same. The only difference is when you are taking on computer based at any prometric center, any test OET test center, they have different centers there where they take OET at computer. So you just take out computer, and when you are at home, the same the process is the same, but you are at home and you need these security checks and examiner these things. And when you're taking at center, you don't need to worry about internet connection, about computer, these things, they are their own headache. Okay.
yes, yes.
So, Dr.
That's fine.
Sabah, thanks a lot because you are on duty also. And anything else that you want to share with us, especially about OET at home, or anything else about OET preparation?
Well, I think I need to be fair enough. So if you need a very good tutor who's helping you in the best way, is Dr. Chi. I'm not saying this because it's in your life, but you really helped me out, and I think my success, the credit goes to you, and I really will be thankful. And even at the night of the exam, I texted you. I said, Doctor, I'm still having these problems, and then you said
Yes,
you can fix this with this and fix that with this. This is
yes,
not easy to get.
To be
and
honest,
you
to be
always,
honest, Dr. Taba, I have some students there when they are out, they're at their exam center, and just 1 hour before exam, half an hour before, they are texting me, "What should I do? I have this question. I have this question." I
yeah,
used
yeah,
to you have to, because with passing days, I'm getting busy. It is becoming a little bit difficult for me, but still I try my best. And
yeah.
what else? So we have two doctors with me because they have joined us for class. If you have any questions, doctors, you can ask Dr. Taba if you have any questions.
Yeah, I was just asking how to manage the time in reading because there are three paragraphs like part B and part C.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like how do you manage your time, because you just have 15 minutes each, like 15 minutes for part B, 15 minutes for part C extract 1 and part C the text 2.
Yes.
So like so could you just
You
give
know
us
what?
few of the
You know
tips?
when, yes, you when you start practicing, you should divide the time. For example, when you have 15 minutes, and for example, you have, for example, 15 questions. Let's to
Mhm.
say that you have to spend 1 minute for each question. So
Okay.
whenever you feel like, for example, you start your first single choice, it's easy. So you may do it by 10 seconds. Okay, go for the other one and then do the other one. Whenever you feel like you are late, so you don't need to check time every second, but
Mhm.
whenever you feel like it's getting late and you don't need to stuck in one question, so just go to the after that. Then when the stress relieves, you can get back to the question.
That
And
is
the
Okay.
trick
excellent.
is
Dr.
like,
Taba, I will interrupt you. Sorry. This is the
yes,
best thing that many students, for example, when I am teaching OET reading, sometimes I'm also stuck. So
yes,
what we need to do is, if you are stuck at one question that is difficult one, just by idea which close answer comes in your mind. For example, for me, the close one is B. I will write B, then I will mark it that I will come at the end again to this. I will not spend a lot of time on this question because you will be too, maybe the next question is too easy and you can do two questions, solve two questions in the next time, in the same time, instead of one, like this. Anything else, Dr. Thapa, about time management?
yep. For example, yeah, that's what I used. I didn't stay too much on one question, and even in the reading, I had some difficulty in the last paragraph because I was a little bit stressed. Because you know what, I was thinking that reading will be easy. So for me, the experience when it was not easy, I got stressed, which was wrong, and this might have affected my writing skills. But then, whenever you feel like you're not doing well in one part, just don't get sad, don't get stressed. You are not doing well in this part, you have a lot of like options. Just ignore this, go to the second single choice. If the second one is also hard, go to the third one. You don't need to confuse yourself. Even in the reading, for example, in the first part, in part A, when it asks you, when it asks you about the single choices, when you have to just know each question in which paragraph, sometimes you just cannot find one of them. And if you spend a lot of time on them, so you will lose a lot of time in the end. So just ignore it. And then when you go to part B and C, eventually you will read the paragraphs in more detail. So you will find the answers and, oh, it's easy. You will get to the part A and you will choose it over there.
That
So
is
Uh,
just don't get
that
stressed
is
and you
great
can
tip.
do
Sorry,
it.
Yeah, excellent.
one more quick
That's very,
question.
yes.
Like
Yes.
for part A, they said we'll have 15 minutes. Reading part A, we'll have 15 minutes and the text will be collected. So,
Yes.
like I'm talking about the paper based.
Yes.
Will they really collect after 15 minutes, or will they take off because 15 minutes, 20 questions is quite tricky. Like sometimes I'm able to do most of the questions, but in 17 and 18 minutes, this three more minutes extra.
Mhm.
So
Uh, okay.
what tip can you give me over there in part A?
Yes, Dr.
In
Sabha, how was in your computer base? I think after 15 minutes, they will close your window for part A, I think. How was that for Dr. Sabha?
Yes, each part when it finished, you cannot get it back to it. So it tells you, are you sure that you wanna like push next? Because for me, for example, in some parts I was doing it before the time finished. So I do next, and then I think, oh, I may missed something, so you cannot get back. You understand that, right?
And
okay,
reading, and reading.
Even I think in the reading it was like this, if I'm not wrong. Actually, I cannot remember the details
Yes,
because I was a
because
little bit
but at
stressed and
least the what I can imagine, at least part A, you cannot
yeah.
go back after 15 minutes. So you will not have even a single second after 15 minutes. You cannot go back to part A because in the paper based what I have done my paper based exam, after 15 minutes they will collect your answer booklet and
So
your
it's the same, doctor.
the
It's the same. Whatever is happening in the paper-based, it's the
yeah
same. It's
yeah
exactly the same, and it's written in their website.
yeah
For example, after how long they will, there is a detailed post about how the process will go on. So it tells
mhm,
you, for example, when part A finishes, they will collect your papers. You cannot get
yes
back, even if you
yeah
have time. So
yeah
just read these things in detail. Actually, I cannot answer because I'm afraid if I go wrong.
yes.
And
Many people will listen to us. So
yes.
what is 100% correct is after 15 minutes you cannot go back to part A
Yeah, I
of
think
the
it's
reading.
like this. I
For
think it's
others,
like this.
maybe you
And
can
you
go
know,
back
doctor,
because
for
you still
example,
have time.
yeah,
Okay.
for example, you have 4 paragraphs in the reading, and
Mhm.
then you will do part A. For example, the first one is easy, you can find it. The second one is easy, third is easy, fourth you cannot find it. So okay, just don't get stressed out, just don't get so deep into the paragraphs. Go to the fifth one, sixth, and then eventually maybe like at a glance you get the answer of
Yes,
very easily without spending a
yes,
lot of time.
of
Because
Okay.
when
course.
you spend a lot of time, the time will go, and then you will be having 10 other choices which they are really easy, and you won't have enough time, and then you will get stressed and you will do mistakes. So whenever it's hard, just leave it, keep it for the end.
Okay.
That is good.
That's a nice tip. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
you will.
uh, any question, Dr. Sumi? Any other question, Dr. Chin? Any other question for Dr. Taba?
For now, only reading. That was my questions. Like
Yes,
writing and speaking, I can depend. I can completely rely on you, DrChe. So
yes,
I
but
don't
any
have
question?
any worries.
So, Dr. Chin, any question for Dr. Taba?
No, thanks for the comprehensive explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very
So,
good idea overview. Thank you.
so Dr. Taba, thanks a lot. And one more thing, Dr. Taba, for OET at
Yes,
home, after how many days we get the result?
it's the same. It's 14 working days. So you will count it except
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday, and exactly you will get it.
it's
I think I
almost
got it
just
even before.
yeah, it's almost the same time, 3 weeks that in total takes. For OET paper miss, I think takes 3 weeks. So it is not a
For me, it
difference.
was 14 working days of
14 working
OET.
days.
14,
Okay.
yes. So you exclude your day of the exam, and then you will
Yeah.
count the for other 14 days, and you will get
Yeah.
back the answer. So
Okay.
probably it will be 3 weeks, yani. It will
Uh,
be 3 weeks in
yeah,
total because you
including
will minimize.
Saturday and Sundays, it would be almost 3 weeks. So
Yes.
because I just asking because if you do IELTS on computer, they give you fast result. That is why I was asking because
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
in IELTS
No,
they
for
give
me it was
after
14
three
working
days
days.
or
Yeah.
5 days. In IELTS they give after 5 days. If you take on computer, they give the
Mm-hmm.
result after 5 days. And
I
paper
see.
based they give after 2 weeks. But here in OET, so we don't have this difference.
Yeah.
So Dr. Thaba, thanks a lot. So best wishes for your. Are you going to take lab?
Yes, I'm going to take lab.
But
Unfortunately, I got my seat.
you didn't get so far your
I
seat.
I got it. I got my seat. I
When
got.
in next year,
It's
2022.
yeah, next year. It's next year May. I will do
Okay,
it. But
it is.
this time
Yeah,
I need to
just prepare
travel.
well.
There's no
Prepare.
plab at home.
Yeah, flavor. Okay, Dr. Sama, thanks a lot being part of our, uh, everything and just for giving us, a lot of tips. And you were at duty and you have given us a lot of time. Really, it would help,
Thank you.
especially your OET at home experience will help a lot of students. So,
I
Dr.
hope
Thaba,
so.
I really pray for your success in play one and play two. Every in your future, anything your future, yeah, you will do. I pray for you. You are a very good doctor. You have given us a lot of tips, even with
Thank you so much.
your video, and many students are get uh, a little bit panic when I ask them something like that. Okay, so Dr. Thaba, thanks a lot again. I am really, help, I really appreciate. I'm grateful for your such a great feedback. So
Thank you so
anything
much,
else,
Dr.
doctor, you want to give any other message? Because
I just tell everyone, whatever dreams that you have, you can do it. It's doable. It's easy. Before some days, my best friend left to UK, and then he just started like me, and he's there by now. So everything is possible. Just watch out and take care of your steps. Be optimistic. Do your steps really well. Prepare well. Be disciplined, and study well. And that's the trick. You can do
I
it.
think that what thing, there are two things that we should always keep in mind in our success. Number one, first, if you go towards wrong OET materials, then you will lose. Number one.
Mhm.
Number two is if you go towards wrong or cheap, or some people keep the price also wrong or cheap OET tutor who is not in real OET tutor, then you will also get problem with your exam. So two things are very important. Number, you need to shortlist what are the materials you are going to use. Number one, two, you are going to shortlist which OET tutor or which uh, tutor you are going to website, which private tutor you are going to take subscription, because many students keep preparing for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and they don't pass. And many students just take feedback for 1 week, 2 weeks, and they pass. I have many students from USA. They were taking for USMLE, and they just they're very good in English. They just take for a few days and then they pass. So it is, two things are very important. So I'm not asking Dr. Tabar, honestly, I'm not asking you need to, everybody need to contact me, because in real, I prefer to, on quality, all the feedback, everything is done by myself. Do you agree with me, Dr. Tabar? So far, maybe in future, I take help of anybody else. So everything, reading, listening, speaking, everything is done by me. Even I respond by
Yes.
myself. I have other my brother and other people who can help me to reply to all of you, but they cannot respond you, reply you in the way that I usually do. So I reply myself, all of you, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. I do all the reading classes myself. I do all the speaking classes. All the role plays are done by myself. All the writing corrections are done by myself. That is why I can take only limited number of students. Okay.
Yes.
So Dr. Taba,
Yes.
do you agree with me that we need to shortlist best OET materials and best OET tutor or
Yes.
website or any organization?
Yes, because when you are having a lot of sources, even in our university times, when you have a
Yes.
lot of sources, you cannot even study. You will get like, you'll say, oh, it's so messy. So try to have one, and then keep
Yeah.
an eye open on the others. You can
Yeah.
it's always better to see other options, but
Yeah.
keep one. And for me, it was DrChe, my like base
So my
for the
strategy is,
writing and the speaking.
my strategy is, I first shortlist. So for example, I have 20 options for OET tutors. I will shortlist them. So out of 20, I have this option, this option, these are 5 options. Okay. These 5
Yeah.
all are good. Okay. Then I will see who is online and whose availability is better, whose feedbacks and remarks are better, whose price is also good. Because if you have 4 tutors of the same level, then you should go for who is cheaper one, because if they're providing the same quality in the less price, then you should go for that. Then you should see how many letters are given. For example, many students, Dr. Taba, they say the other tutor is marking 20 letters for me and just 30 pounds or $30, and DrChe, you are marking 14 letters and 70 or 50 pounds, so it is costly. What do you think about it? That's the I have marked, you people can see. So if you can see, people, this is folder of Dr. Taba. So 8 letters, 8 letters were written feedback, and 2 or 3 or 4 were on just uh, online on Zoom. So not even, you can see on every 10 letters I have marked for you. And you can see you have started from C grade, C plus. Even people, you can see here, this was second letter of Dr. Taba, C grade. So I have marked 10 letters for you in total almost. So many people know I have 20 letters in that subscription, 30 letters in that subscription. So I will go for that. So quality matters or number of corrections matters, Dr. Taba?
Yes, and what I see, you need to choose a tutor who likes his job, and
Yeah,
what I see is you really enjoy it. It's not
yeah,
only a business thingy.
yeah,
So that's what really matters for me. Because if you do not like your job, you are not able to respond at any time.
of
So
course.
so you are responding at any time, and hopefully I was lucky to get you at that time. And whenever you cannot take new students, it's very sad, and I feel sad for them actually. And
Yeah.
hopefully you can take as much as more students. And what I see, this online feedbacking is very good, because you can take a better number of
Yeah.
students, and it will be much more even interactive.
Yes,
And I
interactive
hope you
because
great.
I can ask. I am directly talking with students, so you need to this.
Yeah.
They can ask questions. Then it's a better one.
Yes, and this is the reason, and that's how you improve,
Okay,
actually.
Radha,
Yeah.
I really appreciate your uh, your feedback and your comments, all of these things. Even you were on duty and you have uh, spent a lot of time with us. So thank you,
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Zawa. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks a
Thanks
lot.
for your
So
time.
people just for people who are on Facebook, yes, you can. So you can see my WhatsApp number below in the comments and link to my Facebook group. This Facebook group, that OET preparation, that I have given the link below in the comments. You can join me on Facebook. You can contact me on WhatsApp number is given there. So Dr. Taba, thanks a lot again.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. I
Yeah.
should leave and get back to
Thank
my
you.
patients.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dr.
Thank you.
my senior house officer helped me out, because
Yeah,
when I was doing this interview, he was
yeah.
going to answer the patient's needs.
Yes,
Okay. So
it took a lot
have a
of
good
time,
time.
but still it will help many people, even of your
Yeah,
own country
hopefully.
also.
Hopefully.
So thank you,
And
Dr.
that's
Taba.
how everyone should do it.
Yes,
Whenever
they
you
should.
pass the test, you should
Yeah,
guide other people.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Thank you. Thanks,
yeah,
doctor.
yeah.
Thanks.
Have a good
Thank you so
time.
much.
Bye-bye.